Hi, my name is Olorogun Theodore Ochuko Areki, and today let's talk governance. Let us take a look at a recent unwritten policy in Delta State politics. Now, politics is a game of numbers, and be that as it may, and it is true that the majority carries the vote, then it breaks my heart to see a tribe, the Urhobos, the largest tribe in population in Delta State, cap in hand begging others, the other tribes in Delta State, to allow them rule in 2023. I wonder if they know that Urhobo, with their largest number in population, can perpetually rule Delta State forever. Now, what happens 8 years after, in 2031? Another one of the 7 tribes in Delta State begins the begging process to allow them to rule the state. Isn't it? And this will go on and on and on, so forth and so forth. Well, quite frankly, people, and in particular Delta State people, don't give a toss who is governor of who governs them, so far as their basic human needs are met. Needs such as healthcare, communication, security, power, transportation, social needs, educational needs, etc. So it don't matter. It doesn't matter whether the governor is an Enoani or an Ijo or an Ika, Isoko, Ishekiri, Ukwane, or an Urhobo citizen. He can be from any of these 7 major tribes of Delta State, as long as there is good governance. We have seen the damage quota system has done to Nigeria, producing mediocre citizens. And now we want to augment that damage with another system called rotation. Rotation of what? Rotation of the income and resources of the state? Is that what it is? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. In 2023, all Delta State income and resources will arrive in Urhobo land. And you know what will happen to the income when it arrives? It will be squandered. And then in 2031, it moves to another one of the 7 major tribes in Delta State who takes over by this rotation for them to squander their turn. Isn't this preposterous? If an Urhobo man becomes governor in 2023 by this so-called rotation, it will take another 8 times 7 tribe years, that is 56 years, before another Urhobo man can become governor again. Okay, I hear you. Even if it was done by the 3 senatorial districts of North, Central, and South senatorial districts, it will take 8 times 3 senatorial district years, 24 years, before another Urhobo man can become governor of Delta State. This is a tribe that can perpetually rule the state. Also, remember, there are 3 major tribes in each of the North and South senatorial districts. Only Central has 1 tribe, the Urhobos. We have the Enoanis, the Ukwanis, and the Ikas in the North Central senatorial district. And we have the Ijos, the Isokos, and the Shekiris in the South Central senatorial district. How fair would it be for these tribes to wait endlessly for years to take their turn as governors of the state? Please note that people want good governance. So let us separate good governance from politics. Let us talk about governance, because people just want good governance. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The role of the governor of the state is executive, the budget holder. But what is the role of the members of the House of Assembly? Is it the representation of the people and the areas where they were elected from? If that's the case, don't they owe their people good representation? Now, if these representatives know the needs of the people and areas they represent, then all areas of the state can develop simultaneously, side by side with all areas, without being supradiametric or being convoluted into this rotational system. I challenge members of the House of Assembly to tell us exact number of primary schools, secondary schools, universities, hospitals, factories, road networks, and infrastructures, just to mention a few. Let them tell us the state of these facilities in the areas they represent. I will bet so much on this because your guess will be as good as mine. They probably don't know. But isn't this what governance is all about? The way I see it is this, and this is just my heuristic look at the drudgery process of governance. Elected and hard-working members of the House of Assembly should dig into their communities, flip over and over their communities' needs, and know everything about these needs, and agree with their communities from a series of communal consultations on an agreed requirements for their various communities, vis-a-vis, of course, world-class standards of development. Now, various members can then take their community's needs to the State House of Assembly where they present their community's requirements. These requirements are scrutinized, arranged, and developed into a development plan of, say, short term, up to 2 years, a medium term, 3 to 10 years, and long term of 10 years and over. And upon reaching an agreement in the House of Assembly, this agreed plan and its allocated budget for these agreed terms is then ring-fenced and sealed. Then comes the executive governor who will implement and execute these plans in milestones on the agreed development plan agreed by all the members of the State House of Assembly on whether short-term, mid-term, or long-term basis. This will subsequently develop all areas of the state simultaneously and side by side, and everyone will be happy. There will be progress, peace, and prosperity of the state. So there will be no need, therefore, for a tribe to go begging other tribes to enable them rule. Please, don't say I'm naive, because we can all see clearly where system like this rotational system has taken us. If we vote for qualified members of assembly all the way to the governor, to the presidency, people who know their onions, then we are sure to be guaranteed good governance. By the way, let's separate politics from governance. I say that again because I'm not talking about politics here. I'm talking about good governance. The National Assembly, NASS in Abuja, is also included in this governance scheme. So we need quality members of the National Assembly as well. Now let's be clear. I'm also not talking about constituency project, which is, well, a bit myopic and an anti-government way to look at the community's needs. Members bring one project, which is meant as a return on the money they spent during their campaign, thus ignoring the needs of the people. But rather, we are talking here of a holistic human needs and the development plan for people these members of the House of Assembly represent. All assembly members should go to their community, to their constituencies, collate their needs, take these needs of the people they represent to the House of Assembly, lay these needs there and bare in the House and deliberate on it, and come up with a blueprint of development. That's your job. Let us quickly look at this said rotation. If an honorable man becomes governor in 2023 by this rotation, in another 8 years, it will then become, for example, the turn of South Senatorial District to produce a governor in 2031. Remember, there are 3 major tribes in the South Senatorial District: the Ijaws, the Isokos, and the Shekiris. Now, after they choose between one of these 3 tribes, if they choose, for instance, the Ijaws, so an Ijaw citizen will become governor in 2031. Now, in 2039, another 8 years, it will then go to the North Senatorial District. Again, there are 3 major tribes in the North Senatorial District: the Enuanis, the Ikas, and the Ukwanis. Let us say, for the purpose of this discussion, an Enuani is chosen. So in 2039, an Enuani becomes governor of Delta State, isn't it? Let's move up another 8 years. In 2047, it then becomes the turn of another Roboman. You can imagine how long this will take for qualified people to take power, to take proper leadership of the state. This is a mess, like quota system before it. This will do worse than quota system to the citizens of Delta State. And we can't have it. The state belongs to all of us. We need quality members of assembly. Let us hold debates. Let us hear them talk. Let them tell us what they know about governance. Don't let them play politics with innocent Deltans. We want good governance, not politics. So if I may continue, in 2055, it will now be the turn of the South Senatorial District to produce a governor. If we say the Ijaws have been in 2031 and we are in 2055, it will then be the turn of either the Isokos or the Shekiris. You can imagine we're in 2022 now, and before an Isoko man will become governor will be 2055. 33 years later. Not to talk of an Ishekiri man who will even wait even longer to say 2079. What sort of policy is this? Let us get the best. Delta State is only good for the best, and only the best is good for Delta State. Let us stop this unwritten policy, because before you know it, it becomes a general policy across board. That was how quota system started, and see the mess it has put Nigeria. We don't want it. An example of poor governance is this. A school and a hospital are facilities that should last a long time, serving people now and future generations to come. But what does poor governance do? They build a school or such facilities with materials that will not last one rainy season. When we have materials, long-lasting materials such as steel members, for example, to use in the construction of such projects. Please don't tell me we don't have the money. If we do our jobs and follow the development plan, we can build one now with the money we have. And when we have more money, we can build more with long-lasting materials. This is exactly what we are talking about. Good governance. There's really no need for a rotary system of governance, which only leads to mismanagement of the income and resources of the state. By the way, if by now you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and ring that little bell to enable us make more videos like this for you. Please share this video with all Nigerians, especially Deltans, as this cannot be a policy of governance in our premise. If you have been, thank you for watching. God bless you, God bless Delta State, and God bless Federal Republic. Thank you.